We all have children. My son plays at Notre Dame. And recently, I read a story about him, and they asked him about being my son.
Yeah.
And he said, well, when I was younger, I used to run from it. He said, because kids would say, I only got this opportunity because of my father.
Right.
And he said, now that I'm older, I embrace it because I understand what it means to represent that name.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about kind of getting that fame at 43. Maybe then, if you had the girls, it wouldn't have been President Obama's daughter or Michelle Obama's daughter. But now it is.
Yeah.
When you're having these conversations about life with your girls, how much do you impress upon them about making sure they make their own way?
The challenge for us is letting us give them any help at all. I mean, they're very sensitive about this stuff. They're very stubborn about it. Malia, she's making movies. So she made her first movie. And, you know, I'll be a dad, I'll brag a little bit. You know,
Donald Glover.
She's working with Donald. And, you know, her first film went to Sundance and all these fancy film festivals. And she didn't use Obama as director. On the credits, it said Malia Ann. She used her middle name and didn't put Obama on there. I was all like, you do know they'll know who you are.
Right.
And she's all like, you know what? I want them to watch it that first time and not in any way have that association. So I think our daughters go out of their way to not try to leverage that. And, you know, growing up, the press was pretty good. You know, I basically made a deal with the press pool at the White House press corps. I said, you can follow me around, you can talk about me, you do whatever you need to do. Leave my children alone because they have the right to grow up. They didn't choose this, right? Let them grow up. And to the credit of the press, they did leave them alone. Now, as they've gotten older, there's been some paparazzi stuff going on, and it drives them nuts, you know, because their attitude is we're not looking for all that. So they're grounded. When Michelle and I were talking about me running, our biggest concern was, will our kids end up weird, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a weird situation.
Yeah.
But I've talked about this. One of the great blessings was, we brought my mother-in-law, who recently passed and who was just an amazing woman I loved. And she was the most down-to-earth, you know, South Side, you know, straight up. Like, if the kids misbehaved, she'd be like, y'all know you haven't done anything, right? You know, your parents have. Don't you guys start acting entitled. And so everybody was on watch to make sure that they both had a normal childhood and that they did not feel as if they got something that they hadn't earned. They've turned out amazing. I can't brag about them enough.